Hello and welcome to the Katapult podcast, and for this festive special we have got a great lineup. Dawn Foote and Phil Higgins, co-founders of Katapult, have joined us for this Christmas special to talk about their top 3 theme park rides of 2024. Let's see what they've chosen. Dawn and Phil, this is your countdown of the best theme park rides in 2024. When I was looking at the places that you've been this year, I'm sure there's more when I started to write them down. So obviously, you've both been to Orlando for IAPA Expo, Amsterdam, Mexico, Saudi Arabia, lots of UK stuff. Where else have I missed that you've been?
Colombia,
Colombia.
Bangkok.
Anywhere else, Dawn? I
Don't think so. I think you've got
I
all
managed to
mine.
get all yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've managed to travel the world. So that means that what you're coming back with to this podcast is plenty of rides and experiences that you've had. And Dawn, we're going to start with you. We're going to go in reverse order. So your number 3 of the best theme park rides of 2024 is Jurassic World Velocicoaster.
Yes.
Why did you choose this as number 3?
And I would say it's the top 3 are based on things that we've ridden in the last year as well. So there are lots of rides out there, but obviously the ones that we've actually got to ride in the last year is where we've selected the list from. The intensity of this ride is just insane, and there's like 2 or 3 launches, and you kind of brace yourself, but 3.
2.
2. I said
Yeah.
2 or 3. 2. But you kind of brace yourself, and it's just intense the whole way round, and I just love it. I came off the first time I rode it, and my hair was just like, and the expression on my face, I think, gave a lot of amusement to the rest of the guys. The first time I did it was on the front, and the second time in the middle. And yeah, it's brilliant. And I've only actually both at night. I've never ridden in the day, so that's the thing I need to do yet, is ride it in the day. But yeah, it's so smooth and so intense. Loved it. The queue line as well. Really enjoyed the queue line and the animatronics and the effects. It's really, really special.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit about the queue line then. Obviously not giving any spoilers away, but what made it such a special queue line and such a great build-up for the actual coaster itself?
I think when you've got them in the cages, like, and they're breathing and they're rattling, and I stand there and I don't for quite a while watching that bit, and yeah, it's just it's the build up that you enjoy, and I think each time we've gone with a different group, but the excitement feeling as you're going through, yeah, I just really enjoyed it.
Fantastic. And Phil, your number 3, here we go, is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Tell us about it.
Do you know, I think, Dawn, we've been in it quite recently, obviously, at IAPA, and a few years previously as well. There's not many coasters out there that give you like a one single word experience, and the word is joy. Literally every time I go on it, I come off like face ache. You know when you've been like laughing at a comedy or smiling so much that your cheeks are aching. It's the one ride that does that every time. Queue line is amazing, really immersive, great sort of storyline in terms of bringing the Guardians of the Galaxy into Epcot and kind of giving it purpose there. The pre-show is epic and a huge surprise. I won't spoil it for people who haven't been on it, but immense. And the for those who haven't been in it, each time, well, not each time, it's kind of potluck, but there's, I think, 6 or 7 different audio tracks that you can get. I think I've been in it maybe 7 times now. Over the 7 times, I think I've had 3 different tracks. All of them brilliant. Gives a different kind of feeling to the ride. still pure joy, but some of them a little bit faster. If you look around you when you're on the ride, everyone's dancing, everyone's got their hands in the air, everyone's smiling at each other. It's full of surprises. Definitely kind of a story-driven roller coaster using really nice launch technology plus really kind of cool AV screen tech, kind of continuing the narrative of the ride all the way through. You don't know where you are at times, which is fun, not in a horrible way. And you come off and you're just beaming. You're full of joy and you want to do it again because there's probably things you're going to miss. There's different perspectives you can see. And also, you hear about other tunes that people have had. And we did it. I think we did it twice recently, and I did it a few times last year. And Dawn, we had the pleasure of having Alex, one of the designers of the ride. He kind of took us on. Was it 2 years ago now? I think.
Yeah, Alex and
Alex Wright.
Wyatt as
Yeah.
well. Wyatt
Yeah, they
Winter
took
as
us
well.
took us through, and it was interesting him kind of watching us see how we kind of experienced the ride. But it's funny because everyone wants to go on it again because they're like, oh, I want to get that track. Why, how come you got that? And keep on trying it. But like I say, 7 times in 3 tracks. I don't know what the chances are. Maybe I should go to a casino, but
That's brilliant, and as we speak about quite a lot in our industry, repeatability is such a huge thing, and it looks amazing. And I'm not surprised you've been on it 7 times. You'll have to get up to double figures next year, perhaps.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to number 2, and this was a joint second place for both of you. So you didn't know that you was how each of you was ranking, but you both put in second place Hagrid's Magical Creatures, the motorbike adventure. So Dawn, what made you put this in second place and in your top 3 of last year?
Riding a motorbike on a coaster. so cool. So obviously you ride a bike or you're in the sidecar. The theming, brilliant. The whole queue line when you're going through. I love the room where it looks like they're all riding the bikes above you as well, just towards the end of the queue line. And there's some other effects as well in there, which is just kind of gets you anticipated, ready to ride. The ride itself, there's a few surprises in it, as people probably know. A drop and a fallback and a backwards bit, and it's kind of like takes your breath away. And again, I've only ridden this at night, and which I think really adds to the effect. Really cold, and you're flying through, and I just love that feeling. And I like doing the sidecar, and I also like doing the bike for different reasons. And I love this time going on it and going with people. It's their first time on it to watch their reaction. So people are like, I've never ridden it before. I'm like, oh my god, you're gonna love it. Yeah. So I think that the joy of watching other people ride it as well as kind of experience yourself. This is the one of the coasters that I really want to take my daughter to. She's not ridden it before, and it's on the cards to go out there and get to ride it with her now that she's tall enough. So yeah, this is on my mummy and daughter ride list for sure.
Excellent. And Phil, as we see the ride go backwards for those watching the podcast, did it make you channel your inner Hagrid?
It's interesting that I think both of the rides we just mentioned are in Orlando, but they're both kind of story coasters. They're narrative driven. That it's not just fast paced for the sake of it, which is great. And I love a good thrill, but it takes you on a journey, and you've got Hagrid almost the kind of the protagonist, the narrator, kind of taking you through his journey through lots of surprises, twists and turns. And it's an awesome coaster. It's a surprise. And I'm not surprised. I think that similar to Guardians, actually, the height restriction is quite low, so the queues are big. Lots of people can ride it. And Dawn, to your point, the fact that you can go on it on the bike, on the car, again, the repeatability is great. There's also on the bike, there's a button to press at a certain time, which kind of adds a bit of interactivity. Don't think it does anything, but it makes you feel as if you're having an impact on the ride experience. But also knowing that before that it was Dueling Dragons, it was a kind of dueling coaster, The fact that they use the kind of same layout infrastructure and were able to weave in such, amazing on point theming, and knowing how, how detailed the Wizarding World and Harry Potter can be. The queue line's amazing. You get up close. You can, in the queue line, I'm always amazed. You can touch the big dragon eggs at the side, and
We had to
like
glue
that
them
Dawn
down
said,
apparently. Some went missing.
yeah, but people are trying to steal them. But yeah, there's the pre-show. You've got the Pepper's Ghost with Hagrid. You've got the projection on the ceiling. I think the loading system is really good. Very very quick, very swift. And yeah, just a great fun ride.
Wonderful. And I think it's kind of testament to the kinds of stories that we're seeing within the industry now, which is it doesn't have to be the main protagonist. This isn't about Harry Potter. This is about Hagrid. Even in the first film, the Philosopher's Stone or the Sorcerer's Stone, he's probably on the screen for 20 minutes of the film, if that. But the fact that people are still willing to experience the stories of those, smaller characters or larger characters in the case of Hagrid, means that there's so many more stories to tell, which is great to hear.
Yeah, and I think it goes to Universal's world building, because you've got the castle there. You've got you've got Forbidden Journey, which is with with Harry and Hermione, and so that's that. You've got that as a setting, so it's like a natural kind of expansion of their world that people love, that allows you to step outside of Hogwarts and go into kind of Hagrid's kind of domain, and kind of escape and meet some wonderful creatures along the way.
Yeah, and the detailing is just beautiful, really beautiful.
Wonderful. Okay, we're at the point where we need to share a number one here, and there might be a hint of repeatability
Oh no.
in the top threes. Because Dawn, your number one is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. So we've heard from Phil, but what bits of this ride did you absolutely love?
Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. That's one of the rides. That's one of the songs. And September was the other time I rode it. And I can't remember the first time that I rode it, what the song was at that time. But yeah, each time you get this different track. But utter delight. Like, arms up, laughing, just you just want to go again, because this is just so much joy. Phil said it about the word joy, because this ride just encapsulates it, and you just come off with the biggest smile, and all the way around you can't help but to be laughing and singing and completely enjoying every moment of it, and the little surprises as well. And I think Phil mentioned that Alex Wright and Wyatt Winter, two of the Disney Imagineers, thanks to one of our team, Andy, an ex-Disney Imagineer, arranged for us to ride it with the guys who designed it. So we got to go through the queue line, chat with them about all the details of everything they did and why, and building this world and why it was built there, and the whole narrative around it, which was just amazing to hear all the detail. And then when we got on it, I said to Alex, I said, which is the best place? He goes, where would you like to sit? I said, when you designed it, where should I sit? And he told me where to sit, and that was a good choice, and I made sure I sat there on the second time as well. But he did
And that's the secret you're going to keep hold of,
I
right,
don't know.
Dawn?
Well, I'm going to say the back.
The
Go
back.
the back.
Okay, so that's narrowed it down.
Yeah.
Although
Thank you.
I've heard a rumor that row 9
Oh, row 9.
is supposed to be special.
Okay, well maybe I need to do that next time.
Because, as you know, Don, it's hard to know which
I
way you're
know.
going and what's going on with it. But yeah, something about row 9. So
Okay.
next time, I think that's going to be our request.
Okay. But yeah, he did a click of like 562 times that he'd ridden it when he joined the ride with us. So clearly
And it
it's a
only
ride
just
that you're I'd like to go on it 562 times, that's for sure.
I think you'll probably get all the songs. There's a high chance.
Yeah, I'd love to see the Spotify Unwrapped for the ride. It'd be very predictable, I guess. Okay, Phil, your number one is Jurassic World
It's,
Velocicoaster.
it's
So,
almost like we've just got back from Orlando, Dawn.
I went to the same places.
Went to the same places and yeah, have the same love for similar coasters. Yeah, do you know it's um, and obviously these are our best for this year. I have travelled a lot this year, but I haven't gone on loads of rides and coasters. I've been working really hard, obviously. But this I don't know, going on it again this year, Don. It's everything I would want and hope for from a roller coaster. It's queue line's brilliant. You've got, as Don said, amazing thematic animatronics. Right, you're kind of in the thick of it. You've got both sides. Going on it with my kids was amazing, seeing their reaction. And all these rides, actually, going on it with someone for the first time is the best thing in the world because your excitement feeds off them and you see them seeing things for the first time. There's a moment where the queue line kind of goes alongside the launch, and you've got video screens of raptors kind of chasing. Really good, but again, building that anticipation, which is what we should do. Build the excitement and hearing the launch, hearing the raptors, the kind of classic Jurassic World sound, and just before you get on, then you go up and obviously load onto the ride. But it's intense. It is absolutely intense. It's got everything you need. It's got
But it's
double launch.
smooth as well, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, Intuit have really pulled it out of the bag here. The second launch is bonkers because it's a launch. You're going fast anyway,
Yeah.
and if your arms are in the air and you get a double launch, your arms are like pretty much backwards. But some great inversions, some lovely heights, and wonderful views over Universal. Towards the end, you've got the like a Mosasaurus roll, it's called, over the water, where you literally kind of have airtime. It feels like you're dangling. You can almost kind of touch the water.
Yeah.
And Dawn, to your point again, like riding it at night is bonkers.
Yeah.
Riding it at day is great fun, but at night it is overwhelming. It's like you don't know which way you go in, but you come off and yeah, it's like I say, it's exactly what I'd hope and want from a ride. Full kind of thrill factor, decent length, and yeah, just bloody good fun.
wonderful. Well, yeah, how surprising that you picked the same three. But like you said, you've both been to Orlando recently, so that's probably swayed the top three. However, you both mentioned to me separately about some additional rides that you have been on that are notably great experiences. So, Dawn, starting with you.
Yes.
There's a couple, or probably more than this, that you thought were really, really good rides from this year.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think because Hyperia was one of those, and Gold Rush is one of the ones that I've put down as well. And I think Gold Rush at Drayton, amazing, 1 metre coaster. It's unexpected, very much a family coaster, but it's a thrill coaster with some really cool technology with the switch, which gets you reverse. You don't quite know what's coming because you're going to go front or back and how you're going to ride it. So it's like so much fun and just such a great addition to Drayton Manor. And so we enjoyed riding that this year. Been a couple of times actually, and took my daughter on this with her friend as well. And it was brilliant because it's a really, really great family, but also thrill. And I think that seeing people's reaction to it is kind of, oh, it's a mine train, but then you go on it, you're like, whoa, this is like super cool. So yeah, I was really impressed with Gold Rush. Hyperia, interestingly, I actually rode this. And I had a headache before I went on. I had a really bad headache. And I thought, do I really want to go on a massive coaster? And then Hyperia cured my headache. So they need to, who knew that a massive intense roller coaster where you feel like you're weightless.
There's a marketing thing there, isn't there?
So this was the drop, the two things. And then you're like, wait, there's those two moments where you literally feel like you're not in your seat. That's quite an immense feeling. And it's also a headache curer. Who knew?
It's on my list. Absolutely, it looks like an amazing kind of build from Mac. But yeah, I'm yet to experience that. But Gold Rush, yeah, same sort of thing. I think the fact that that Intamin have created a ride that is 1 meter and quite thrill. I went there with my 7-year-old twins, and they absolutely loved it. So being able to, as a family, experience it together is awesome. And again, back to repeatability. The fact that I think it's got like a three-way switch or something, so you don't know what's going to happen. And again, you come off and you're like, oh, we went this way, you went that way, and this happened. So yeah, the repeatability is great. It makes for far more, of a interesting experience for a ride in a park. And I think that it just shows that modern day technology and engineering is allowing, bigger thrills through kind of increased elements of safety and engineering, is allowing that kind of threshold to change where little kids, if they want to, can get the thrills of what used to be the 1 meter 40 plus kind of height restriction, which is great.
Yeah, I can vouch for this as well. I took my 6-year-old daughter on Gold Rush, and she absolutely wet herself. I don't know how best to describe it. She really, 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 really didn't want to go on it.
Oh.
But then when she came off, she was like, I need to do that again, Daddy. That was great. Almost to the point of tears of happiness. And I think what was really interesting with Gold Rush as well, because I also visited for the National Roller Coaster Day, was people saying that actually for a regional park, this was completely unexpected in terms of the quality and the level of ride. So, kudos to the guys at Drayton for putting that in.
Absolutely.
And Phil, some of your great rides of 2024, you've done a mix of both new rides but also retrofits as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I thought it was just interesting to mention. So similar kind of vein to Gold Rush. I was over at Emerald Park for the Balpa Autumn Conference and got to see the new land expansion there that Charles and the team have done, which is amazing, really, really good. I think it's a great addition. But there's a Vekoma suspended coaster there that took me by surprise, actually. I think I should get my facts right. I think it's 1 meter 20. So it's not for the smaller kids, but what is interesting is that it's integrated with kind of a Vekoma boomerang. So there's kind of two rides that are kind of integrated. That there's a few near misses and things, and I think that's a smaller height restriction. And I'm going to try and say I think it's a Tinanog is the ride, and it's really good. It's probably and I'm saying this, Nemesis is great, but it's probably one of my favourite all-time suspended coasters. Great launches, lots of twists and turns, lovely theming, and overall, great ride experience and a great land expansion. And Nemesis is interesting. It's been there for a long time. It's on our doorstep. Alton Towers just down the road. A good kind of favourite, sort of thrill favourite of the park, and I think Merlin have done a great job here in terms of re-injecting and obviously re-theming, kind of theming the whole ride experience and the track and everything, and doing an amazing marketing sort of campaign around it. To the point where, I think, I don't know what the queue times were, but I'm sure I saw like 3-4 hours plus, everyone wants to ride on it again. And it's not, in the big scheme of things, it's not, a brand new ride. They haven't put like brand new twists and turns and loops in there and things. It's just incredibly well marketed, and it's kind of that homage to the people who loved it, the original, to the as its new name is, Nemesis Reborn. Just shows, I think, that it's not always about having to invest in everything from the ground up. You can invest wisely and reimagine an old favourite and inject some life and excitement into something.
Yeah, I had my day off on my birthday and went and did Alton. It was really quiet, so I didn't have to do much queuing, thankfully, because it was just as season opened and pre-holidays. And yeah, I got onto Nemesis and Wicker Man, which sort of rode 3 or 4 times. And again, that's another coaster which, as a family, all the family could ride it together, which was really enjoyable. And yeah, Nemesis Reborn, I think. I took my daughter and she said, I don't want to do it, I'm not sure. And then she got on it, and then she was like, I want to do it again. And it's just like that, that feeling, and by the end of the day, she was going on all of them. So, because she'd just hit that 1 meter 40, so she was able to do all the big rides, and there was no holding her back. Although I had to draw a line on some of them. I refused to go on some of them 3 times, but but I tried to keep up with her.
Well, to be fair, yeah, I think it is wise to have limits, Don. I think when we did Hulk twice in a row.
And then that ride was like it's called Hulk, right? So it's supposed to feel beastie. And Alex, just as I sat on it from our team, said, "I'm not sure I really want to do this," which was a great feeling as the thing's locked. And then it was just like Hulk could just punch you,
It is like
and
a
then
punch in
continue
the
to
face.
And I scream on coasters, and if I'm screaming, I'm having a great time. If I'm silent, I'm not so great. I was silent through the whole of Hulk. I just couldn't even. I was just like.
The first time we were on the front row. And it's a great ride. It is a proper muscle coaster. You know, it's intense. And it was night time, so it was good fun. And it was just us on the ride actually. But we got off and we were all like, "Oh my god, that was amazing!" You know, high on adrenaline. And I had the silly idea of going, let's do it again. There was no queue. Let's do it again. Come on. You know, we're working our way around the park. We might not come back here. So we decided to do it again and all go on the back row, which was intense. Dawn, I think you were quiet for about 25 minutes afterwards. I don't think you said a word. I was a little bit worried at one point. I was like, have we broken Dawn?
I think it broke me.
What you should have done is gone to Hyperia, because clearly that would solve any
See
sort
the
of
effect a
medical issue
coaster
you
can
have.
have. One can cure your headache, and one can just silence you. Like this.
That's a dueling coaster I want to see. There we go. Well, guys, thank you so much. That was your the best theme park rides of 2024. What are you looking forward to next year?
Oh well, obviously Epic. All that's going to come and open next year. So that's a huge thing. We're excited to go experience next year. So yeah, that's a huge one for me.
Yeah, same here. You know, we've all seen the amazing kind of trailers and all the various kind of updates of track builds and flyovers, and you know, know a lot of the people that have worked on it. So it's a labour of love. So seeing that come to fruition and open is going to be amazing. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Excellent. Well, thank you both. Merry Christmas, and we'll speak to you in the new year.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Rory. Merry Christmas to you all.
Bye.
See you later.
Come on.